Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled. What does that mean? That means if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment on the chat, you need to subscribe to the channel. Okay? It's my way to try to control the trolls from making their presence felt here on this platform. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have subscribed to the channel, whether you've been from the very beginning or recently. I really appreciate all the love and all the support that all of you have given me. What I wish, what I'd like you to do is spread the word with some people that you know about the channel and try to encourage them to subscribe. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. I'm going to ask you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to watch it live or watch it on the playback. Okay. I think we're going to have an interesting stream tonight. I hope it will be. Before we get into the topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. Okay, first of all, as far as the update regarding my health, today I went to see a doctor and he examined my knee and basically what they told me was I'm going to need to lose 30 pounds before I get operated on. So that's what I'm going to do because the bottom line is I want to take care of my health. So the fact that I have to lose weight is not a bad thing. It's a good thing in the sense that I need to do what I can to be as healthy as I can be. It looks like the war between Grand Marchand and and I use the term loosely hybrid. The sheriff is getting hot. I mean, it seems like these two, they're coming like um, I don't know, they're like feminists. I mean, hybrid is making all his multiple rants in his community tabs regarding Grand Marchand and then Grand Marchand answering back. Uh, Hybrid, I would suggest that you calm down, okay? First of all, let me just acknowledge the fact that MK is in the chat. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. Um, it is what it is. But, you know, if they want to go on and, continue with this verbal exchange or what have you, that's fine. Okay, they can do whatever they wish. They're grown. They're all adults. They can do whatever they like. And I see we also have Keisha in the house. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. So what we're going to do is we're not going to delay this any further. We're going to get into the main topic. So as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is who are the divestors? Okay, let me just give you an actual definition. Who are these divestors? Okay, these are people, um, it could be men and women, but mainly women that have been very vocal, who for multiple reasons decided outside to date outside their ethnic group. Now, let me start out by saying the following. Anyone who is an adult is able to do whatever the fluff they wish to do. Okay? Let me repeat that. Every adult has the right to do whatever they wish. Okay? They can date who they like. They can do what they like as long as, with consenting adults. What is the problem that some of these people in dating outside their ethnic group, um, trashing the men of their group? That's where there's a problem, okay? And unfortunately, you have some, okay, in the, oh, heck, let's keep it real. You have some in the women in the African American community uh, who think that their male counterparts are complete trash, okay? And you have those like Cynthia G, who advocate that African American males babies should be aborted. Okay, uh, I have a huge problem with that. Now, if you want to date outside of your own group, that's fine. Okay, but there's no need to trash the men of your group. Okay, just simply date who you wish and just keep it going. Unfortunately, you have some of these individuals they cannot do that. They have to like um, trash the men of their group. Now, some of it. Good evening, early. Some of it is due to the fact that unfortunately there have been women from their own effort, crap by the men of their own group. Okay, and I said some, but the solution is the following: if you are hurt by a bad relationship, okay, get therapy and deal with it, okay? And do yourself and all the other dating men and women out there a favor and don't try to date anyone until you get whatever trauma is resolved. Yeah, I hear. Well, look, that's okay. You know what, Keisha? Let's keep it real, okay? You are a very beautiful and an attracted individual. Okay, you are. Okay, but there's more to you than meets the eye. Okay, you also are a person that's articulate. You're also a person that's intelligent. Okay, so you're not just eye candy. Okay, and yeah, I mean, some people have what I call jungle fever. Like there's some people that are obsessed about dating black women and treating it like a fetish. Um, I got news for you. Women are women for the most part. Okay, regardless of who they are, regardless of what ethnic group, um, women are women. Okay, well, unfortunately, you have some people that like to fetishize. I mean, and so, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Just as there's some white men have fetishes about dating black women, there are some black women that love to date Latino men. Okay, I believe me, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. So you will never hear me saying that dating outside your ethnic group is a bad thing. I mean, you love who you love. That's the bottom line. I mean, look, I was married to someone that was a Dominican, okay, and actually she lived outside of the United States. I did not trash American women, okay. I just simply fell in love with someone from another country, and unfortunately, the marriage didn't end well, okay. And I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. We were both guilty of the marriage ending, okay, and I can accept it, okay. But as I stated before, you can date whoever you wish. There's no need to trash the men of your ethnic group. Okay, whether you be a Latina, whether you be an African American lady, whether you be a lady from Asian countries, whatever. There is no need to trash the men of your own community. And I'm going to say the same thing to the men. Okay, men, there's no reason to trash the women of your own community. Okay, now if you have a bad experience with a female in your own community, okay, fine. Do not assume that all of them are the same way. Okay, unfortunately, what some people want to do is make a whole group of people pay for the sins of one individual. Okay. Let me just give you an example to help illustrate this point. Okay. Uh, I have dated previously two Dominican women. Okay. The first one, she dumped me on Christmas Day. Okay. For reasons that I don't remember, because this happened mm, 13 years ago. And then the other case, I actually got married and it did not end well. Okay. Just because I have bad experiences with Dominican women does not mean that I think all Dominican women are the same. Okay. Unfortunately, you have people who will project what one did and project it to all. And that's not accurate. That's not fair. Okay. And again, it all stems from the fact that people got hurt and people, um, for whatever reason, never got the therapy to deal with those issues. So, what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can share this. Just give me a moment. Let's see if I can. Okay, now let me see what self-hating hypocrites. They hate black men and biracial, other racial women. Yeah, look, yeah, you know what? Like I said it before, and I said it again. Unfortunately, you have individuals out there that have had a traumatic experience with one or a couple of people, and they think all of them are just as guilty, and that's not the case. So let's see. Oh, and by the way, if anyone is interested, um, I had pinned the link to join the panel. So if anyone wants to hop on the panel and express their point of view, or maybe they disagree with anything or everything I'm saying, this is the opportunity to express their point of view as far as the why. Just give me a moment. Okay, all right, let's see. Okay, I came across this article which states the following: Black women diverse, help or gender fascism. So, what we're going to do is we're going to read along and see what this article says. Yeah, yeah, you know what? As I stated before early, um, there's good and bad in every community. Okay, that goes without saying. But one should not project the sin of one or two people on everybody else. Okay, so let me read. Being a millennial black woman is a strange experience, especially if you're looking for love or sex online. You can oscillate between being inundated with evidence of your less undesirability, but also overwhelmed by the intense fetishes which can be found in certain NSFW appreciation subreddits, porn categories, and forums. To make matters worse, there exists a well-known international mass statistic that indicates on average black men marry and pursue date 2.5 times the rate of black women, thus causing a gender disparity. These statistics are brought up by nauseam on dating forums and Twitter threads whenever the topic of black women are dating or marriage arise. These statistics and accompanying commentary can be frustrating, especially when they are weaponizing by bad faith actors to prove that something must be inherently wrong with black women or black Americans as a whole. Growing up in suburbia, it's not rare for me to overhear that my black male classmates would not find a black woman as dating partners. We are too dark, too loud, or too much attitude, hot or not list were passed around, but all the darker skinned black female students were missing. It was one thing to hear clawless and racist comments from white students, but as a black woman, you are raised to expect different from your black male classmates. I observed this pattern of racist exclusion or misogynist comments from black men, as well as college years and beyond. I also experienced mental rejection from black men simply because we shared the same skin tone and texture. Upon graduating, I found my first romantic partner, a white man. Something clicked. I started reflecting, knowing why, but I had a harder time dating than my black friends, but also why my first boyfriend was not black. I found myself searching the internet for queries such as black men who hate black women or black women who hate black men. It didn't take long to realize that I do some sort of internalizing trauma, but that the internet is a still looking glass to peer in. Okay. Now, here's the thing here. Confessions of a former self hating black man who used to bash black women on social media. Let's see this. There are rabbit holes on the internet that are toxic places for impressionable young people to fall into. Much has been discussed about the alt-right pipeline at various internet platforms, but there is nearly as much discourse about the fringe reactionary subculture that young black men and women may be exposed to. Some of the terms I would be using is black wealth empowerment, black women going their own way. The movement presents itself as a self-help community that encourages black women to decenter male attention, prioritize health and self-care, and broaden one's horizon through international travel and international hybrid relationships, often leading to the promotion of interracial relationships as a form of hypergamy. I encountered this movement years before the divestors movement began, appearing on various social media platforms. Now, most of the small bloggers associated by this subculture has now rebranded as neither divestment blogs or more legitimate self-help consulting firms. Such figures include Kristen Kazan have received mainstream media attention. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to discuss is divest black women, divest the black women. This movement is derived from BWE, but while more intentional focus on divesting oneself from the Black community for social justice, burn decay, and from the issues relating to Black male oppression, self-improvement, female feminization training, weight loss, professional development is promoted as a means of achieving a hypergamy compared to BWE/BWGTOW. There's a more of a focus of colorism and the disparate treatment of monoracial dark-skinned Black women, less centralized and more spread out across social media. This movement appears to be the most current as well as the most popular iteration of BWE ecosystem. I will explain later. This movement is also notable for its idealization of traditional gender roles and its pointed interest in the perceived failure of Black men, especially in Western countries, in comparison to other groups of men. Predominantly Black neighborhoods are the recently called Blackenstein. Blackenstein is a conceptual place where Black dysfunction and violent crime flourish. Now we're going to be talking Black big towelettes, Black men going their own way. It's a subculture derived from MGTOW ideology. They believe that women's interest in men is entirely due by hypergrace goals and that men benefit themselves by avoiding women in any capacity, romantic, platonic, economic, etc. This is documented overlap by the between the MGTOW and the incel subculture and likewise the big MGTOW. So now we're going to be talking about SIBN, Save Yourself Black Men, is a movement dedicated to encouraging Black men to avoid Black women in any capacity, especially romantic partners. Overt eugenics propaganda upspread as a reason for interracial partnerships. Black men are encouraged to obtain passports to find non-Black romantic partners in developing countries who will supposedly appreciate them more than Black women can. This community stresses gender roles and traditional ideas of female subservience. Issues of police brutality and civil unrest are often blamed on Black women for being inadequate mothers and partners. Predominantly Black neighborhoods are majority called comunidades, Blackenstein, and comunidades are classic and racist constructs where stereotypes of Black dysfunction and inferiority reside. In doing so, the inconvenient historical content of Black economic suppression can be swept away under the rug. Okay, no problem, Kesha. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about. I'm not going to go through all this. Let me just see. I'm just going to read this one more thing and then we're going to go to Parker here. Just give me a moment. Now we're going to be talking about fascism. Fascism is defined as a far right of authoritarian ideology. On the macro level, a fascist society values ultra naturalization with or without expansion, aggressive foreign policy, and criticism of egalitarian economics. On the micro level, cultural fascism idealizes tradition and conformity. Any deviation from these cultural values lead to an individual or group to be categorized as deviant or poor hygiene, mental, physical, or sexual, or otherwise. Fascism is interesting opposed to any left center or center political ideology. That's where I stop. That's where I stop because all this talking. Good evening, my love and God. The problem with having a divestor, um, I don't know anyone who is in the divestor movement. So, but if there's anyone, if there is a divestor, they want to opine, they're more than welcome to do so. Well, most of the BWE and divestor communities originated from legitimate grievances about the missile war and economic challenges that Black women experience. It is my personal belief that these communities often cross over into near fascist ideology due to societal white supremacist indoctrination. The most notorious hallmark of fascism is the institutional bigotry and xenophobia. Diverse is a moment of community having existence of normalized anti-blackness. Various slurs of men exist. Curiously, most of these slurs can also be used to demean black women, in this case, such as slurs as nignogs, gorillas, and apes. The history of just that on platforms such as Reddit, Stormfront, and 4chan. The use of these slurs is often justified because they exist to believe that anti-black racism and police brutality is mostly targeted against black men and not black women. I'm just gonna pocket here. Let me just bring up this. Like I said, Malone Vanguard, if there was a divestor in the audience, I would encourage him or she to join the panel to express their point of view. Okay. And again, let me make this perfectly clear. Here on this platform, anyone, and I repeat, anyone, is allowed to express their point of view. The only criteria is that they be respectable towards the chat and respectable towards the people on the panel and respectable towards the host. As long as they're willing to do that, they can hop on and express their point of view. Now, I came across a video regarding a panel which consisted mostly of African American men, and okay, look, all right, let's try to tone it down a little bit, okay, but let's try to tone it down, okay. I understand people don't like it, some people, but let's try to tone it down, okay. I appreciate it. Look, I'm not expecting everyone here to have a kumbaya, okay? I understand there's certain individuals that might have a grief with other people, okay? But what I would appreciate is we try to keep it civil, okay? And Mulatto Vanguard, I also request the same thing for you, okay? I understand that you have issues with certain people in the biracial spaces. Okay, I can understand that. I can appreciate that. But let's keep it respectable. Just give me a moment. But excuse me, just. I apologize. It says that I don't like the text, but let's get back to the topic, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a video that I did see, and actually there was one person on the panel that actually went and said, if black women are going to date outside their community and trash black men, then you know what? We do not owe them any protection. We do not need to look after them and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share that video, okay? And of course, this is under fair use, so I will be stopping it to give my critique. So therefore, I won't be hit with a community strike. Okay. So let's just see if we can come up. Okay. Oops. And again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Like I always say, divest. You have my blessing, but on your way out, don't be misandry. Don't do all this misandry stuff because you're just basically doing scorched earth. Scorched earth. Um, it's like if I can't have a black man, nobody will.
Yeah.
That's basically kind of my take on most of this stuff.
So I agree 100% with both of you brothers. I think one thing that I don't know, maybe I see a little bit wrong, but the thing that I don't get is, in particular with divestors, once you leave the community, I feel like you're no longer our responsibility. I don't know if maybe I'm out of line for that, but I feel like once you get from out, say you don't want to deal with black men anymore, but you want to complain about violence and certain things propagated against you or certain conditions propagated against you, then you're not on the basically you're not on the team anymore.
I hear what you're saying, and what's your name again?
Just call me Dre.
Dre. Sorry, yeah. I hear what you're
I'm,
saying, but like deep down, this is where I'm not as hard body with it because at the end of the day, they're still black, right? So I see value even when it comes to men, the Pookie and the Ray Ray types, right? Like there people are redeemable. Um, some of these women have.
Now, one of the gentlemen, um, now we can agree or we can disagree with what these gentlemen, these people have to say. But I think it does need that we at least listen to them. We don't have to agree with everything that they're saying. Now, obviously, one person in the panel holds a belief that if the woman from their community decide to date outside and not have anything to do with their male counterparts, that we do not owe, they don't not owe them any protection, any loyalty, any care, and what have you. That is one point of view. Now the gentleman that's on the uh, okay, that's on the opposite, the lady host expressed that point of view. Now the gentleman below expressed a different point of view, meaning that people can be redeemable. Okay. Now, as a Christian, I do believe in the um, redemption of people, and people can change their ways. However, it does require accountability, and it does require a desire to change. So, what we're going to do, before, if Malala Van God, if you're still listening, I would like to ask you a question. As far as mulattoes go, are there issue where the women wish to date outside of your community and tend to trash the men of your community? If you are still listening, if you wish to opine on that, I would appreciate it. Okay, because everyone's view is important. So, okay, you are in time. Okay, you know what? I understand, and like I said before, we can listen. We don't have to agree, but we can listen. Okay. So now I'm going to continue, and again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Divestors. What should lead a community?
Um, some of these women have very traumatic experiences, and their content is just misplaced, and they're not really getting the therapy that they desperately need. And I don't necessarily think of the same way that, okay, now that they've left, there's nothing redeemable about them. Because to be honest,
Well,
there are, I wouldn't say black male divestors, but there are black men that I know of personally that have a strong negative feeling towards the black community. Um, but in terms of them being resourceful and a benefit to the collective of black people, I would never throw those brothers away, ever.
gotcha. Let me clarify a little bit. So, I wish I could remember the young lady. But basically, there was a young lady killed about a month or two ago. I believe it's like towards the end of January, end of February. She was about 25 years
Lawrence
old.
Smith Fields?
Oh, say again?
Lawrence Smith Fields?
Yes,
Wait,
that's
what?
her.
That was one of
Okay.
them. Yeah,
One of,
It,
yeah, there's been a few.
Bridgeport,
and
Connecticut.
I believe that's it. And I
Yeah.
remember just kind of reading the stories at first and kind of even the media vibe. It was like, well, why aren't black men coming out and speaking out against her killing? And then it came out, oh, she was a divester and all these posts and everything. And not, I'm not saying throw people away at in the sense of like I want nothing to do with you. I'm just saying like in much the same way that once I left my father's house, I no longer had his resources. I no longer had his covering. I had to make my own way, and I had to become a man on my own too. And I feel like it's a similar thing from a societal sense. Like as a black man, I feel for what happened. I really do. And I'm not advocating for violence or anything like that against anybody, but it's like, in essence, you left the family. That's just how I feel.
I definitely hear what you're saying in terms of it's like you're a spoiled child who decides to be emancipated. Okay, you decided to leave. I've got I've washed my hands of any responsibilities. So I completely get what you're saying. Um, but I see like the bigger picture with this, with a lot of this stuff. And as I always say, divest. You have my blessing. I know there's some of you ladies ninja watching in the clouds, hate watching, because
Ninja Wash.
deep down they know that they're that a lot of the stuff that they're saying is fucked up. Like
I do.
deep down they know, but they're not. Um, some of these women have very traumatic experiences, and their content is just misplaced, and they're not really getting the therapy that they desperately need. And I don't necessarily think of the same way that, okay, now that they've left, there's nothing redeemable about them.
again. Okay. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening, Don Jose.
Good evening.
So, how are you gentlemen doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Oh, doing okay. Doing all right. I mean, it's so early, still in the week, but I'm doing okay. Getting ready for the hump of the week.
Okay. So, the topic is who are the divestors? I'm sure you gentlemen have your own point of view in regards to the topic. So, whoever wants to go first, by all means.
Yeah, I can jump in real quick. From my observation, a lot of the divestors, I call them dust vestors, um, they're basically disgruntled women. They're disgruntled with the results that they have with the men that they desire. They're not getting the results that they want, so they're disgruntled, and they turn a lot. It turns into a lot of anger and vitriol, and so that's my basic observation.
Okay. Ramon, do you wish to opine on this topic?
Um, you know what? I don't know because I have been an observer, but because I'm because I'm not black, I feel like maybe I will be out of place to say anything about that. But apparently, according to the Urban Dictionary, a divestor is specifically a black woman. But I don't agree. I don't agree. A divestor could be somebody from from any race or ethnicity or group that chooses not to be with somebody who is from said group, from that same group, and that one big example of that could be um Asian women. If you look into it, my understanding is that Asian women are like will be the biggest divestors, particularly specifically towards white men because of the perception of wealth and security and fair treatment. Because they come from a culture where maybe they are more educated towards putting more a woman on a pedestal. So if we're looking for a like a real example of a divestor, it will be an Asian woman. But for the sake of the subject, um, my understanding is what usually is referred to as a divestor is specifically a black woman who puts herself first, and she's walking away from certain behaviors and from her community and from the men in her group, and she believes that by going to a different race of men she's gonna be doing better. That's like the general understanding that I have of that. I don't like to get too much into it because we're talking about a different race. I don't know if it's even our place to say anything.
Well, actually, the fact of the matter is, well, even though a lot of the focus is on African American women, I mean, that could apply to, say, Latinas dating
Mhm.
outside of their respective ethnic groups, okay, or even, say, female members of the mulatto community who choose to date men who are not mulattoes. Uh, Mulatto Vanguard, as the only mulatto here on the panel, is that a problem in your community?
Well, it's funny you mentioned. I kind of want to go back, not to detract the conversation, but you asked me a comment initially before I jumped on the panel. You asked me a comment specifically about mulattoes, so I'm guessing is this the same question?
Yes.
Could you repeat it for me, please?
Okay. Now, in the mulatto community, are you facing the same issue where um, the the female members of the communities choosing to date outside of the community, whether it be or maybe the male members of the community choose to date outside? Are you experiencing that same issue within your community?
No, I would say no. No, for this country and even in Latin America, like with Puerto Rico and still other countries, they probably use other terms.
Yeah,
But here in
you're
America,
kind of
we
like yeah. We couldn't understand you because you were kind of like I don't know if it's called borging, kind of like sounds robotic and chopped up. Could you repeat?
sure. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm in the field. I'm working right now, so I apologize about that. No, the thing is, like I was saying, is historically we've had like mulatto communities here in America, but with government policy, we've basically been destabilized and pushed back or so. And since we're partially black and white, a lot of us we go with either a white partner or a black partner. That's historically what we see, but even now there's a trend now where a lot of us are going with the Latino community. So what I'm trying to do, I guess, with my channel, my social media, is present an image where the men and women together creating a community. That's basically what the whole function of my social media platforms are.
Mhm.
But it's kind of I've seen it my whole life. I'm from California. I have seen mulatto men and women together. And I saw it in Las Vegas and other areas that I lived at. So I'm seeing it. I'm still seeing it. Know, at least what happens a lot is we do eventually. A lot of us we go with other groups, like I said, Latino or black or white, and we essentially kind of get absorbed, right? So we're not able to kind of form a solid foundation or a solid population group in a designated area. So that's one of the difficulties that I see that we have, but that's kind of besides the topic. I hope I answered that for you.
Yes, you did. Now, for the benefit of the audience that may not be familiar with your platform, can you just speak on it briefly?
What specifically would you like me to speak on?
Just something, just in general.
But on something general.
Okay, just basically, what's the goal? What's the focus of your channel?
Oh, the focus of my channel. Yeah, I can reiterate. I mean, is basically having the men and women working together to form a sense of community, form a sense of belonging, have a space, a safe space. I don't really like the term safe space, but I'm going to use it in this context to have a place where they can belong and be accepted. So I didn't start my channel to troll people. You have a lot of channels you'll see they're like they publicly admit that they're clout chasers and they're trying to troll people. That's not what I do on my channel. So I've always used YouTube as an educational resource, mainly for like guitar tutorials to learn how to play songs on the guitar, stuff like that, but also networking or communicating in the chats in different, sectors and stuff like that. So I look at it as a community function to get people together to communicate, and I've done pretty successful. I've been doing pretty good in content. I've connected with a lot of people. I get emails frequently, or DMs on Instagram, stuff like that. And my engagement has been pretty good for the amount of effort I put into it. Like I said, I'm at work right now. Just wanted to hop on your panel, but I think I'm doing pretty good. I think the more I put in effort I put into it, it's going to be even better. But yeah,
Okay.
I want us to have
Well,
a place. I want us to have a place, a sense of belonging, ultimately, because what happens is a lot of times we're put in a situation where our experience is invalidated, and we're almost like we're put in positions where we feel like we have to kind of overcompensate to fit in. And I just want people similar like me to have a place where they feel like they belong. They can be themselves. They can be proud of their parents, proud of themselves, and they don't have to hide anymore. I think a lot of us mulattoes, we overcompensate, whether it's for the black side or the white side, where we're hiding who we are. And I want us to have a place where we don't have to do that. We can be ourselves unapologetically. And I think I'm doing pretty good with my social media. Go ahead.
well, first of all, I just want to say a shout out to you because, unless I'm mistaken, I think at this point you have over 2,000 subs. So
Well,
apparently,
the subs, just to interject, the subs are irrelevant. The engagement's the main part, right? The people who engage with you, the people who contribute, who donate to your channel, who stay engaged, the connections you build is invaluable. The subscribers, you can lose some, you gain some, there's many tactics you can use to gain your subscribers. Just start uploading some shorts and you'll gain a lot. But the
Yeah, I
subscribers, I
really
mean,
have to apply that. That's what I keep hearing because I
yeah,
don't get my subscription on it. That's because I'm not using the shorts. That's what people keep telling me.
yeah,
But yeah, that's on me.
yeah,
Well,
for sure.
well, well, I actually have partake in some of your content, and your content is quite good. I have to acknowledge that.
Were you saying me, Jose?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like a part-time endeavor. I could be putting a lot more. I actually plan on implementing some type of like travel vlog material to my channel, but I might create a whole nother channel for that. I have a fitness channel as well. So I have
Okay.
a few things I'm doing. But yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I know I could do a hell of a lot better with like the editing and all this stuff, but I make a lot of my content, my videos, the live streams I do at home when I'm on my computer, but the videos I make them like when I'm at work. So I kind of have like a cheap microphone. I'm using my cell phone, but I knock two birds out with one stone. I multitask while I'm at work making money. I can also, experiment with this YouTube thing. So it's fun for me.
Okay. So being that you've been here on this platform and chat a couple of times, what's your view on the panel, on the channel, on my channel?
Oh, I like your channel. I mean, from when I've been in, like the gentleman on the panel here, Puerto Rican gentleman, I believe, right?
Yes, the
Boricua.
intro with Boricua.
Boricua. Yeah, yeah. I like this gentleman. He's very respectful. I've heard him a bunch of times on the panel. Very respectful gentleman. So you're always welcome over on my channel. I like good people.
Thank
So
you.
you're cool. You got Denise as well. Very respectful. And I've been on her channel a few times. So I generally like a lot of the people that I see that's in your chat on your channel. It's good vibes. And so definitely those are the channels that I'm going to navigate towards, naturally, where there's more positivity, honest dialogue, etc.
Well, what I try to do on this platform is I try to create a safe space that everyone can express their view freely, and we can disagree as long as we agreeable when we disagree. So here, this is not an echo chamber. I mean, I do encourage discussion. I encourage dialogue, and that's the goal of my platform.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, it's just that we all know that unfortunately, when it comes to other channels where they get into the ratchetry, I mean, those get a lot of views, but some of us are a little bit too old for that. We're not trying to get into that, and if that costs us views, I guess that's gonna have to be it. That's the way it's gonna have to be. But yeah. I
Yeah. But the
mean,
thing,
if I get, uh-huh. Yeah, go on.
Go ahead, Mother Vanguard.
Yeah, you might have gone mute or something. We can't hear
Maybe he
you.
stepped away.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, what's your views regarding this video? Because you see, you have one gentleman that basically stating that they should have nothing to do with black women if they choose to divest, and then there's another gentleman saying, they should, we should, you know, give an opportunity to amend their ways. So, what's your views?
can you hear
When it
me?
comes,
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
yes.
sorry. Go ahead, beloved Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean that conversation they've been having that for a while. And also I wanted to kind of, go back to what Boricua was Boricua was saying about the difference or like how other groups can be divestors. But the thing is with like Asian women, they do date out interracially with white men at like a higher rate than every other group. But do you see the same type of hatred and vitriol that they have towards their male counterpart? Like you see with divestors, because they have specific vocabulary that these divestors use, which is very,
Mhm.
anti-black and hateful towards black men, right? We've already explained like so I don't think it's the same extent,
No,
but
no, they might have their differences with the Asian women. I mean, they may have had the difference within with their own men, but they're not so public about it. They don't go public with it. They don't shout it out for the world to hear. Now, my understanding is that yes, there are Asian women that might share on on Asian men a little bit, but they're not so vocal. They're not so loud about it. If they want to get with a white man, they'll just do it for the most part. They'll just do it, get with a white man, and they just act on it, and they put their energy into acting on it. But they just don't make announcements. They don't make they don't advertise it. They don't make it public loudly for everybody to hear. They don't sit on a on a TikTok video and talk shit endlessly about their own men. And that's what it seems that apparently these women in the black community, they tend to do that a lot. The thing is that the more they talk about that they're gonna divest and get with a white man, the less likely it is, because somebody who talks and talks and talks so much about something, they're the people that usually don't do it. They're the ones that are talkers. They're only talkers. They don't take action on it. Now, if it were a black woman, that she will just has the opportunity to be with say like a non-black man or a white man, whatever, and she just does it, then that's another thing, because she's putting her energy, her effort into making it happen, and she's made it happen. And hey, nothing wrong with that. She's an adult. She can choose whatever she wants to do. But that's the thing with the Asian women. The Asian women, they might have difference with their men, but they're not so loud about it. They kind of keep it to themselves, and they just act on what they want to do. That may be the difference.
First of all, Irby, I'm sorry to see you go, but thank you for stopping by. But let's try. I understand people. There's certain people may have beef with, but let's not bring it here. Malala, my apologies.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah. Yeah, what I was gonna say is, your Boricua, your observation is extremely accurate, right? So like with Asian women, they'll basically walk away from the table and unannounced, right? They'll just go do their thing. They're not going to broadcast that they're leaving. But you see a lot of these divestor channels on YouTube or TikTok, all of their content is about hating black men, right? And it screams kind of desperation.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you focus so much hate on a group of men who you think very little of, who you don't want to be associated with? Like, just divest, leave, get your white man and be happy, right?
No,
Asian
that's a
women
cry. That's a cry for help. That's a cry for attention. Because if they didn't
right.
care about black men, they would just shut up and get with a white man. But that's not what they're doing. They seem to, supposedly they hate black men so much. They have so much vitriol against black men, but they won't shut up about them. So it's because that's what they want to be with. That's what they want to be with. They know that they don't really qualify with to be with a high value white man, the high value white man that they're always talking about. They don't qualify with for one of those guys, because those guys are gonna be smart enough to see that this woman goes on and on and on talking shit about black men, and you think that a white man is gonna be with a woman like that talks so much shit about her own men? I mean, and you hear them. I have come across videos in which white men say that, like, okay, what would I be with you when you talk so badly about your own men? I mean, they follow logic just like the rest of us.
Oh
So
yeah,
they're not
yeah.
likely to take them seriously.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. I have a friend, a jujitsu friend, and he was telling me the same thing. He had a black girlfriend, and eventually dumped her because of all the crap that she was talking about black men. He just got tired of it. He was annoyed with it. It just screams desperation. And like you said, like successful guys, successful Caucasian men, like yeah, they can smell that desperation. And it's also this kind of weird, like like traitorous kind of mindset that a lot of these dust
Mhm.
vesters have. It's like you can't trust them. If they're going to talk that negatively and bad about their brothers and their father and grandfather, I mean, they're
Mhm.
basically going to, you know, put that energy on every other man in general. It's just it's not normal, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. One thing I've noticed when some black women decide to date Latino men, expecting that there's something magical, there's something unique, there's something special regarding us. Ramon and I can say the same thing. I mean, just like there are winners and there's losers in every group. I mean, you can come across some Latino men that's basically boys or they're very immature. So unfortunately, you have people who fetishize like Latino men being fetishized or Filipino women being fetishized or even black women being fetishized. Okay. And again, everything is said and done, you love who you love. You don't need to trash your own the men the opposite sex of your own community when if you decide to date out.
Mhm.
And that's the whole point. Your thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, no, that's a great point to not broadcast your actions basically. And to not make that kind of your life, your well, I mean, as far as like the channel, the content you see, like you said, with YouTube and TikTok, where you have people for a whole year or a year plus making videos about divesting and divestment. It's like, why are you still talking about these guys you don't like? Like, just move on, you know? But yeah, it's weird. It's an echo chamber for sure. They have a lot of women in those, you know, fem cells, right? Who can't get the men they desire. They're in those spaces, in those channels, and they kind of trauma bond with each other about, you know, their grievances with the black men they want, that they desire, but they're not fit enough to get those men. It's very sad to witness it. But you're right, Jose, for sure.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue watching this video. And before I said that, I think well, I just want to say it's very gratifying that while we have had our differences in the past, that we both can be civil with each other.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys were having an issue? You guys were beefing?
No, no, I never had any issue with Jose. It's one
All
of his
right.
affiliations. I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, I've never had any real issue. So
Uh,
no issues on my part. I mean, I've seen how you operate your channel. Like I said, you have gentlemen like that's on the panel now. You've had Denise, you've had respectful people. So I was like, okay, you guys are having a great dialogue, great conversation. I'd like to participate in this. I could possibly learn something. So this is
mhm.
enjoyable. So
No,
there's no.
this is about exchanging ideas and comparing notes. I mean, but maybe what I know is not the same thing that you know about the same subject, so we can compare notes. That's what this is about. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue the video. Now, Malala Vanguard, if at any point that you need to leave, I understand because I don't know how long since you're out in the field, so you may have a little bit time. So if you have to leave, I understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue the video, and of course, as always, fair use is shown to
And really
be.
quick, really quick. I mean, if Kichelis is still listening, I mean, you can come up. I mean, we could use your input on this one. I mean, you were saying on, on the comments that you got white men hitting on you. Oh, really? Like, come on up, tell us about it.
Well, okay, look, I actually known Keisha very well. In fact, I have known her for about 4 years. Okay, and I can say this much. Not only she's a beautiful young lady, she's also very articulate, she's very intelligent. Okay. So she's not just eye candy. Unfortunately, you have certain individuals that have a certain fetish regarding black women. But
uh,
neither here nor there. So we're going to continue with this video. And again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
all right. It's froze.
And as I
You
always say,
can
divest. You have my blessing. I know there's
also
some of
you can expand
you
the screen
ladies
as well.
ninja watching in the clouds, hate watching because
Ninja watch.
deep down they know that they're that a lot of the stuff that they're saying is fucked up. Like
I do.
deep down they know, but they're not. But they're choosing to use. They're choosing to use divested Zealot or Cynthia G as their as their therapist. No, you gotta stop consuming that content because it's only going to lead you down a dark road.
Right.
Like those women aren't living their best lives.
Absolutely. Let me add. Looks like I got a few more in the chat in the call line I want to add on. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. You got Kevin C. How's it going? You there, Kevin C?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Had to unmute myself. You guys doing okay over there?
Hey,
Yeah,
brother.
good,
Yeah.
doing good. And then I got, is that Mr. Research? I think I got in the building too. Okay.
Yeah. If somebody else wanted to talk, that's fine. I had a few points and I didn't want to stay on very long. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the first part of it, only because my son and I, we were out, working out, doing some boxing and stuff like that. But I actually did have this set up so that way I could get the reminder, and as soon as I came in, I got on. But,
Awesome.
But yeah, hey, I don't have a problem with, and I think I put it in the chat, but I don't have a problem with people popping in and out, as long as they don't have a proven and public history of denigrating Black people. Like that's, like that whole Stacey Dash thing, like she can't really come back because of what she's said and done, and Black people aren't really accepting her back. It just is what it is. So that's I think that's what and I forget who it was. He was just talking about that, but I think that's a little that probably gives a bit more clarification of what he's talking about. Look, go ahead and do what you're going to do. Get the best person, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whoever. But just be good to your people. Don't betray your people, because we have enough of that going on already. One of my only issues, and I will say this, I didn't realize that this was as much of a problem as it is. But I have a real issue with, a personal grind, I guess, if you want to call it that, with people who really denigrate people from our own group without looking at the history of what it is we have to deal with, the fact that we don't have equal circumstances and all the obstacles that Black people have to go through, and just dismissing that. It just makes no sense to me, because the more I learn about us, our history, the past that we have, and the things that we still have to deal with today, it just doesn't make sense to me that anybody could have the idea that collectively we're supposed to be equal to everybody else and on the same playing field. And we've never had that in this country. We've never had it. We're not going to get it. And even though we do everything we can to navigate this system that's unfair and unequal, people are looking at it like, well, you guys just aren't good enough. And I'm like, well, yeah, there's going to be issues and problems, but the people who do well are actually.
So I completely.
Thank you very much, beloved and God, for stopping by. And I see that you're eating. Okay, no problem. So, your thoughts, Ramon?
Mulatto had had to leave. I thought that you were talking with her. Yeah. She always has something more important to do. No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This that's the point. What Kevin C was talking about. That's just the point that we were talking about here. When it comes to taking action, when it comes to say if somebody wants to date out, wants to be with somebody of a different group, if they're gonna be doing it, they're just gonna be doing it. If we're talking about adults, and there is really nothing that you can do. You can't tell anybody who to be with and who they cannot be. You know.
Yeah.
I'm nice, good show. But yeah, just don't go out of your way to be trash talking your own group. That is really what it comes down to. Is basically what it requires. That now that that's something that I think it could apply. It applies to every group. That's why I don't wanna make it about just one demographic of women. We can make it about all demographics. That if they're gonna be dating out, date out, but don't be throwing your own people under the bus. I mean, generally, I can say with Puerto Rican women, many they get with a man who is from outside, from another country or from another culture entirely, or from but they tend to retain their pride in being Puerto Ricans. It's just that they just chose to be with somebody with someone else, and that's fine. I mean, as long as they're not throwing the rest of us under the bus, I guess that's all right.
I mean, look, a perfect example is our friend Denise. I mean, she's married to MK, but that doesn't take away the fact that who she is. She is proud to be an island Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
I could give you, for examples. I mean, somebody like Rita Moreno. She's not with a Puerto Rican man, or somebody like Rosie Perez. She's not with a Puerto Rican man, or Roselyn Sanchez, uh, uh, who is an islander also, like Rita Moreno. She's not with a Puerto Rican man. She's with somebody white. All of
Mhm.
them are with white men. And
Yeah.
that and or Salma Hayek, who is with a white man. I mean, yeah, maybe they feel like they're upgrading. Good for them. I mean, they are the stars, and they're with somebody that they feel that's on their level. And that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I know sometimes you have people who have beef with certain people, and I get it. And I get it. Just, let's just leave it at the front door.
Hmm.
Ramon,
Yeah,
are you there?
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you were in the middle of saying something.
Yeah, I just that I know. Look, it just that I saw something going on in the chat with Irby and Malala Van God. No, I know
Uh,
these.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Irby is not the kind of dude that could be having a. He doesn't seem like he could easily be having a beef with somebody. I'm like, Irby, what's going on, man? I mean,
Okay,
I know that
well,
he said peace and all. Then Mulatto had to go too,
okay.
but it's yeah, he says
Look,
something about what,
look.
Mulatto.
In all fairness, and I'm just gonna stay in this. Of course, there have been issues between Mulatto Vanguard and Golden Goddess and Malti. Okay, and
Hmm.
Irby, of course, he is a good friend of Gigi and Multi, just like we are. Okay. And of course, sometimes, people get, uh, how can I say it, agitated.
Hmm. Hmm.
And my thing is this if you have your peace, fine. Just don't bring it here. That's all I ask.
Yeah. There is a time and a place for everything, and also for addressing any issues. There is a time and place for all of that too, of course. But yeah, here on Jose's channel, nope, not here.
No, look, this is and I try to make it a safe space for everyone to express their point of view, and I mean everyone. As long as you don't trash me, you don't trash my host, you don't trash the guest, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
So, speaking about show, when you gonna be doing another calling show? Or
I have an idea. I have an idea, and it's gonna be a very controversial subject. But I wanna be able to prepare for that, to be able to articulate myself as best as possible, because I try to be very measured in my words, and whatever I say about it, I wanna be able to stand on it. I don't wanna misspeak anything. I don't wanna have to take anything back, because that's basically that's at the very core of these episodes that I want to do, that I have part of the title. I stand by what I said. I want to be able to say something. I want to be able to stand on that, but I want to be very measured about it. I mean, I don't want to talk reckless, and then I have to make some apology video, or having to take something back. I want to make sure that I don't have to do that. But I do have a subject that is going to be very controversial. It may be controversial, and that's something that I'm going to need. If there are anybody who is from New York and can give an input, because this has to do with diasporans. Diaspora Puerto Rican that have a certain upbringing and that have a certain mentality that might not be the most compatible. I mean, because as an islander, I'm all for diasporans reconnecting with us islanders. But there are certain mentalities that are from the United States that wouldn't be very compatible with island mentality. But that's something that when it comes to that, when I actually do the live streams, I wanna be able, and with advance, I'm gonna send out messages about it, because I wanna be able to have a panel about it, because I wanna be able to learn from it, and I need the input from diasporans or diaspora Hispanics and Latinos that are from New York, that understand what I'm talking about. That I talked to Morena a little bit about it. She understands what I'm saying, but I need more people that can chime in,
okay,
because it's gonna be a bit of a sensitive subject, and it's not gonna be any kind of anything about, again, wanting to be against diasporans, because I don't want to be divisionary. Absolutely not. It's because I want to. There is a hurdle that I'm trying to clear towards more unification.
okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to acknowledge that Gigi and a new person see in the chat. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for stopping by. Actually, Monday I'm gonna have a special call-in show, because I'm gonna be interviewing Christina.
All right. When did you say this is gonna be next Monday?
It's gonna be Monday.
Okay. Good. Good. Hi. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you remember the interview that I did with Denise, the questions I'm going to ask her is basically more or less the same type of questions. Starting off with how was her childhood, how she developed her platforms, and
Yes.
some of the like challenges that she's dealt with, because as you know, unfortunately, she has dealt with some immature people on our platform.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So hopefully the uncommon folk will make its presence felt, and maybe some you ask some ask Christine some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I finally figured out how to get Christina on my platform to interview her.
What was that?
I say
The golden 18.
I finally managed to get Christina on my platform.
Yeah, because she's been kind of like she's been missing, she's been MIA, and yeah, she knows that she can come back at any time, and we're all gonna be tuning in. But yeah, she's been kind of missing. I guess she had to have priorities, certain priorities that she had to tend to, and we can't really fault her for it. She's a head
Well,
of a household.
well, I did have the rare opportunity to break bread with Christina and with two teachers.
Hmm.
So with both of them, basically, they was just taking like a social media break. Two teachers been very busy, and Christina, has had to deal with some wildness on her streams and what have you. So she does appear, every now and then with short videos. Like for example, her latest her trip to New York when she actually ran into yours truly.
Yeah. Y'all were meeting up and hanging out, but you do that 1 week after I was in New York. Yeah.
Like
That's
I
all right.
said, like I
That's all
said,
right. I'm not salty. I'm not salty.
like I said, Ramon, you're more than welcome to come to New York in the wintertime.
No, no winter. No winter. No, it has to be when there is regular weather, like human weather, not this polar bear shit. That polar bear weather
Okay,
that you like so much. No. No.
first of all, we have not had winter in New York in years. Okay,
Okay.
so stop the cap.
Sure you don't. Sure you
Okay.
don't. Uh-huh.
In fact, right now I just turned on the AC and the temperature outside is 69 degrees.
That I need a jacket. If it were 69 degrees down here, I will be pulling out a jacket. Yes, at least a
Well,
windbreaker. Oh yeah.
well, well. Earlier today, I was happy because the air conditioning was on according to my specifications.
Yes, everybody else was freezing their ass off. I get it. I mean, uh, here it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We're still in the triple digit temperatures, but it's not as bad as it was in July. So
Well, okay.
is
Well,
it still around the 107, 108? Yeah.
well, Ramon, we'll do this. You come to New York in the wintertime, and I'll come to Texas in the summertime.
Okay. I don't know. It's just that there is a health risk for me to to go anywhere and having to breathe all the extremely cold air that you like so much. I mean, I
Oh,
can't
come
take
on.
it.
You're making it sound like we're in Alaska. Okay, come on.
Yeah, almost.
No, no. Look, 30 degrees, 30 degrees is not cold.
Yes, it is. That's almost freezing temperature where water starts to become ice and all.
I mean, technically, to me, that's springtime.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you say.
Well, if you're gonna come up here in the summertime, at least we can go to Orchard Beach
I'm not going to no Orchard Beach.
and look at the beautiful blue water.
Where? There is no such thing. There is no such thing.
What do you mean no such thing?
There is no such thing. I mean,
Yes,
you
there
got
is.
you you got mud. You got mud. That's what you got on Orchard Beach. I don't know
I
what is it that
mean,
people go to the beach for because you got mud for water.
I
Like
mean,
hell no.
and you can bury yourself in the sand.
No thanks. No thanks. Not trying to do all that. Yeah.
But would you believe I'm gonna be doing another late night stream this weekend?
Another late night stream. Late
Yes,
night, as in how late?
12:30 a.m.
Oh, but why so late?
Well, you know what? Look, you have to experiment. Okay,
Okay.
so you got to do things differently. I mean, so basically, the topic for next stream is going to be outrageous moments. So I'm going to be showing video clips of people acting crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not my normal cup of tea, but you got to do things different. You got to think outside the box at times.
Right. Right.
Okay. But um, but
I got
hmm,
you, Jose. I got you. Okay.
yeah,
Well, if it worked the other day for you, then yeah, definitely you should do it again.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly, exactly. Um, well, I'm happy to say it's 121 days until the first day of winter.
Uh-huh. All right.
Because to me, the first day of winter is like an unofficial holiday.
Okay. If you say so. That's all right.
But but you know, but going back on the topic. This is and I said that before in the beginning. If you want to date outside of your ethnic group, that's fine. Okay, you should be able to love who you love, or like who you like, or sleep with whoever you wish to sleep with, as long as it's the consenting adults. The whole thing it gets to be a problem is when you trash talk them, the opposite sex of your own community, and that
Mm-hmm.
we see that quite a bit. Um, do you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think part of the reason is due to trauma, is that they had negative experience with someone of the opposite sex of their community. So they're thinking now everyone of the opposite sex is the same way.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the whole generalization thing. I mean, maybe they had one or two instances in which they just didn't have the best luck when it comes to getting with a maid, and then they make the generalization, and they think that all of the guys in their group are gonna be the same. I mean, generalization means kind of like assuming the same about about the majority, almost all, not every single, but about the majority. So that's a generalization. So when making a generalization is basically having to pay the consequences for what some jerk did to them when they were younger, and now
Yeah.
they're taking it out on everyone else in their group, and that happens with women. Period. They happen to go through a couple of bad experiences, and then an unsuspecting nice guy gets treated like he was a jerk, like he actually did something, and he didn't do anything. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's how
But
that
you know
goes.
what? But you know what I think is the problem is that you have certain individuals. They're so used to negative people
Hmm.
and negative experiences. So therefore, when a respectable person or a genuine person approaches them, they have no idea how to interact with that person. And what they do is they automatically put the defenses up, and they automatically assume that this individual is going to be the same like everybody else and not give that
Hmm.
individual an opportunity to demonstrate his or her behavior.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
yeah. Which, why, you know, when you have a relationship that ends, uh, You need time to recover. Okay, it could be weeks, it could be months, or whatever. Okay, and it's okay to seek therapy. Um, because the last thing you want to do is take the emotional luggage of a bad relationship, and then you bring it to another relationship, and then what you do is you end up sabotaging that relationship. In fact, I know someone that I've known for almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And unfortunately, she has had the habit of when a relationship ends, automatically go into another relationship without having an opportunity to deal with the trauma that that person was in. So what happens is this person comes into another relationship with the baggage of the previous relationship, and what that person does is create more baggage. And then she left that relationship and then went into another relationship, and the cycle continues. Okay.
Yeah,
While
these are the types that they haven't healed. They're not
yeah,
healed, and then just carrying the hurt or whatever issues that they were having from the previous relationship, are taking it to the next, and they need to understand that it's okay to take a little bit of time, and being able to have closure on the previous relationship before they move on onto a new one, because if they bring, like you said, if they bring the baggage and the hurt and the issues, and they haven't been able to resolve none of that onto the new thing, then it's not gonna last long, because they're gonna be making all of the comparisons, and then they're gonna be blaming the new guy for things that he hasn't even done because of the previous hurt and the previous issues. So it's okay to take some time. The thing is that women usually don't do that. But it's men. Men are more likely to, when a relationship ends, is to take a little time, in between. But women are more likely to monkey branch, the not being already done with one and then jumping into the other, which is proof that women do need to socialize more. We men, we grown men, we can be for a while by ourselves and be fine. But women have a tendency to need to socialize more and be around other people more, because they start getting depressed and they start getting lonely. So they do need to be around other people more and socialize more and being in a situation more consistently. Not so much us men. Us men, we can be for a while by ourselves and be okay. Uh,
mhm.
and that's how I look at it. That's how I see it. And yeah, like ladies, any of you listening to this, I mean, it's okay to heal first. It's okay to completely resolve those issues before jumping into something new, because it's gonna end up in disaster if you don't do that. It's not gonna end well.
Yeah.
I assure you.
And also, I want to make it perfectly clear. Um, if the ladies watching this stream, even if they're in the clouds, and if by all means they disagree with anything that we have said, you're more than welcome to enter your comments in the chat. You're also more than welcome to enter the panel. The link has been pinned, so don't feel shy. No, this is not an echo chamber here. We all can accept constructive criticism, and we can accept different points of view.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, but basically that's what I have. That's what I have actually, because there is something that I have to take care of. Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna be stepping out, but definitely I appreciate you having me on the panel. And basically that's how I do that. Again, to reiterate, to kind of like a quick recap. When it comes to divestment, I don't think it is limited to one demographic. We already talked about that. when it comes to divesting, it doesn't even have to do with gender, because I know that divesting is more associated with women, and particularly Black American women. But if we're talking about women that divest, that would be the Asians. It's just that they don't announce it; they just do it. They just do it. They don't make announcements. They don't get on public platforms and throw the men in the group under the bus. They might do it because I have heard that there are some Western some Westernized Asian women that might get on a platform and talk crap about other Asian men. Yeah, that might be a thing a little bit, but it's just not. But it's not a common thing. It's something that, for the most part, that stays unspoken. I mean, these women are just making the decision and making it happen, and they tend to be the majority when it comes to the real divestors, um, and many of them are succeeding in making it happen. But that's because they put the energy into action, into actually making it happen. They don't sit on a platform and bitch and complain about their men. I mean, because those are the ones that you know that they're not going anywhere really. They're just trying to get attention. Yeah. But then again, Jose, I appreciate you having me on your panel, and I definitely look forward to that stream with the interview, and I'm gonna be checking out whatever you put out next anyway.
Okay,
Thanks
well,
for
I
having me.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And just remember, it's 121 days until the first day of winter.
Okay.
Something to look.
I'm gone. Thanks for having me.
All right. Good night. Take care. Be safe
All
out there.
right. You too, sir.
Okay. So, look, I stand by my original premise, which is the following: if you want to date outside of your own ethnic group, that's fine, as long as you're truly trying to find a partner and maybe learn about the culture of the other person and not treat it as a fetish, and definitely not to badmouth the opposite sex of your community, because that shows self-hatred, in my opinion. Okay. And also, if you have bad experiences with one member of a community, okay, do not condemn the entire community because of the actions of one person. We have seen quite a bit of that lately. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share one more video clip. I so give me a moment. Oops. Okay. Where am I gonna? Okay. Let's go to my. Just give me a moment. See if I can find it here. Now, what I'm going to show something. This has happened in a little league baseball game. Okay, which a young batter was hit in the head with a thrown pitch baseball and went to first base, and then the pitcher was overcome by emotions regarding what happened. And I think what you're going to see is something that's very rare these days, and this is something that I wanted to highlight. So give me a moment. Okay, no problem. Okay, so so
A fastball to the head.
okay. So I'm gonna mute myself so we can catch this.
The crowd was shocked, but what happens next would make headlines around the world. Once recovered, the batter named Zay Jarvis took first base, but then he noticed something. The pitcher who just hit him in the head was overwhelmed with emotion on the mound and broke down. Caden Smith stood in tears as Zay embraced him. This brave and inspiring embrace of Caden is a shining example of love and sportsmanship. Not only did it move his teammates, his opponents, and everybody in the crowd, it also moved somebody else. So much so that Zay would be invited to throw out the first pitch to the Little League World Series in Pennsylvania. He made a lot of new friends there, became a hero to many, and even got to hang out with his new friend Caden at the game. And it all started with one scary moment and an act of pure kindness that moved us all. Follow for more at Home Plate Shorts.
Now, the reason why I decided to show this video clip, first of all, it shows a very powerful message. It shows a message of sportsmanship, okay, that we rarely ever see today. Okay, here's a person that was hit, a child that was hit in the head with a thrown baseball. Okay, even though the child had a helmet, I mean, there could have been head trauma involved. Okay, and unfortunately, we've seen times where batters, when they get hit with a pitch, they automatically charge the pitching mound and then they start throwing punches in the pitcher and what have you. What we saw here was the opposite. What we saw here was a young individual showing compassion to another young individual. This is something that we don't see every day. Okay. So that's the reason why I wanted to show this. And first of all, a huge shout out to the batter, okay, for explaining such love, forgiveness, and sportsmanship. That's something we do not see every day. Okay, and I'm proud that I was able to show it. Okay, and if you're still watching, just want to let you know that you're always welcome here on this platform. Just to give you an idea of what we do, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. Okay. Now the reason why it's called uncommon sense because Logic is not something that's used on a regular basis. So I chose the name Uncommon Sense. So let's see now. But if anybody else wishes to join the panel and share their point of view regarding the topic who are the divestors, they're more than welcome. If anyone has any disagreements regarding what was said, this is your opportunity to do so. If not, then I will wrap this up. Okay, and I will say this much. Um, you can date out within your community. You can date outside your community. Okay, just be mindful of the why. That's all I'm going to say on that. Be mindful on the why. Okay, if you're going to date someone outside your community because they think that they're better than bad, or they're, some sort of a fetish that you have regarding, you know, you're dating with the wrong reason. Okay, I have dated different types of women. I have dated. My first girlfriend was black. My second girlfriend was white, and actually was engaged. Unfortunately, we broke up. The next girlfriend I had was Puerto Rican, and unfortunately, she broke my heart. Um, the next couple were Dominicans, which didn't work. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But I'm not going to crap on black women because one broke my heart. I'm not gonna crap on my own women of my own community simply because one broke my heart. I'm definitely not going to crap on Dominican women just because I've had negative experiences with them. Okay, you have to learn how to focus on the actions on individuals and not assume about all community. And that's unfortunate. That's something that we have seen here, not just in these YouTube streets, but in our walks of life, where certain individuals have a reputation that's undeserved. And the reason why I say not undeserved, because it's based on what one person has done, or two people, or three people. Okay, that's that is my point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to wrap this up. Let me just let you know that I will be live. Let's see. Oops. Just give me a moment. Actually, I'm going to be live early Saturday morning at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, why am I airing that late? Um, Basically, it's a couple of reasons. First of all, to give the people from the West Coast an opportunity to watch, and sometimes um, there's certain people that normally would not be able to catch my stream because, for the most part, my streams I usually work around between 8 and 8:30. Sometimes I'll do it 9 o'clock, what have you. So it will be an opportunity to those who normally would not be able to catch my stream, hopefully to catch it. Okay. And the topic will be outrageous moments. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing video clips um, on my Instagram regarding outrageous moments of both men and women. Okay. And we'll see. And don't forget, this coming Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will be interviewing the beautiful, the charming, the elegant Christina. So I do hope that all of you are present. Okay, you wouldn't want to miss this interview because it's not every day that you get to hear from Christina. And believe me, I've been trying to get her to be on my platform for 2 years. So finally, I learned. You know what? Do an interview. Okay. So with that being said, I just want to give a huge shout out to all those who appear in the chat. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who are on the panel. Okay. And I think it was good that a lot of Vanguard was able to be on the panel and see how we function over here. Okay. And the fact of the matter is we can have respectable dialogue, which has always been the goal of this channel. Okay. So that being said, I'm gonna ask that some of the people that's still in the clouds that have not hit the like button, please do so. Okay. It doesn't cost you anything, and it does help with the algorithm. Okay. And by all means, please tell your friends regarding this channel, and bring it over here. Bring 1, bring 5, bring 20, what have you, so we can have some discussion. In any case, I'm going to wrap this up by saying the following. We must do everything possible to minimize our contact with a mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. And the fact of the matter is, here in Uncommon Sense, all are welcome to come express their point of view. And if we disagree, let's be agreeable when we disagree. So that being said, I'll see you all early Saturday morning at 12:30 a.m. on Uncommon Sense, and definitely Monday at 9 o'clock. So this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I wish all of you a very good night. Take care and peace.